You feel that sting. Someone close says or does something that cuts deep, and instead of speaking up, you go quiet. Words freeze. You pull back. The room feels heavier. If that pattern sounds familiar, you're not cold or dramatic. You're running an old script, one that once kept you safe. Pause. Notice this. The silence isn't emptiness. It's your mind building a quick wall. Many of us who shut down when hurt learned early that showing pain brought more pain. A raised voice, dismissal, or worse, someone using your feelings against you. So the nervous system adapted. Hurt hits? Go inward. Say less. Protect what's left. Quick example. Imagine a kid who comes home upset after a bad day at school. Instead of comfort, they hear, "Toughen up," or "Stop crying." Over time, that kid stops bringing the hurt home. The habit sticks into adulthood. Now a partner cancels plans last minute. Instead of, "That hurt," the response is radio silence. Not to punish, to survive the wave without drowning in it. Stay until the end, because the one thing that changes everything is understanding why this pattern keeps repeating and how to quietly rewrite it without forcing yourself to become someone louder. Let's break it down. First, this quiet response often ties to how we learned to attach. Some grew up with caregivers who were unpredictable. Love one day, distance the next. The safest move? Don't lean in too hard. Don't show the full hurt. Keep a little distance built in. That wiring doesn't vanish. It shows up as withdrawal when emotions spike. You feel the ache, but voicing it feels riskier than holding it. Notice this. It's not that you don't care. You care deeply. The silence protects the relationship from your raw, messy reaction. Better quiet than saying something you'll regret, right? But here's the hidden cost. The other person feels the wall. They wonder what they did wrong. And you stay alone with the hurt, replaying it. Second pattern, emotional flooding. Hurt arrives fast. Heart races. Thoughts scatter. For some brains, the only off switch is shutdown. Speech feels impossible. Not because you're stubborn, because the system is overwhelmed. It chooses freeze over fight. Calm on the outside, storm contained inside. Read that again. The silence isn't rejection of them, it's self-preservation. Your body saying, "I need space to sort this before I make it bigger." Quick example. A friend makes a comment that lands like a jab. You laugh it off in the moment, then go quiet for days. They text, no reply. Inside, you're dissecting every angle, trying to decide if you're overreacting or if trust just cracked. The quiet buys time, but it also builds distance that didn't need to grow. This pattern shows up for people who value independence. You handle things alone, always have. Asking for understanding when hurt feels like handing over power, so you don't. You process solo. The irony? Real connection needs those honest moments, the very ones you dodge. Midway reminder. Subscribe to Brain Catalyst for psychology that helps you decode people. Third layer. Shame mixed in. When hurt surfaces, an old voice whispers, if they see this weak side, they'll leave or use it. So silence hides the vulnerability. You appear fine, strong even, but inside, the wound festers without air. Unspoken hurt turns into resentment or numbness. Either way, the relationship loses depth. Pause. Think about the last time you went quiet. What were you actually protecting? The relationship or the version of you that doesn't want to be seen as needy? Here's where it gets insightful. People who go quiet aren't broken. They're adapted. The adaptation worked once. In homes where feelings were too much or not enough. Now it creates the exact isolation it tried to prevent. You want closeness, yet the hurt triggers distance. The people on the receiving end often misread it as indifference. They push for answers, which makes the quiet person retreat further. A loop forms. Hurt leads to silence, which leads to more hurt. But awareness shifts this. You start to see the quiet as a signal, not a flaw. It means something important got triggered. A need for safety, a fear of being misunderstood, a boundary that got crossed without words. Escalate that clarity. Imagine catching the moment early. The sting hits. Instead of full shutdown, you notice the pull to disappear. That tiny pause is power. It lets you choose, not force big words right away, but decide, do I need a short break to breathe? Or can I say one honest sentence? That landed hard. Give me a minute. This isn't about becoming extroverted or confrontational. It's about identity. You're the person who values real connection enough to protect it smarter. Not by walls, by measured honesty. The reframe that lands deepest. Your silence was never the problem. It was the only tool you had at the time. Now you can add new ones. small ones that still feel like you. Powerful internal shift happens when you stop judging the quiet part of yourself. Thank it for the protection it offered. Then gently update the rule. Hurt doesn't mean hide forever. It means pause, feel it fully, then decide how to share what matters. You become someone who trusts that your feelings deserve space without needing to explode or vanish. That changes how people respond to you. They stop guessing. You stop carrying it alone. The quiet ones who heal this don't suddenly overshare. They learn to signal earlier. I'm hurt and processing. Let's talk when I'm clearer. Simple, true, effective. That small change breaks the old cycle. Less misunderstanding, more trust, deeper bonds that actually feel safe. Here's the closing shift. The real rule isn't never go quiet. It's don't let silence become the only answer. When hurt comes, let it teach you instead of trapping you. Feel it. Name a piece of it when ready. Watch how the people worth keeping respond to the real you, not the protected version. You're not too much or too little. You're someone learning that vulnerability, in safe doses, builds the safety you craved all along. Comment with the word quiet and tell me one situation where you go silent when hurt. Let's decode it together.